am 35 years old, and I have never conceived a child. Even saying these words out loud still feels heavy, like I am confessing something I did wrong, even though, deep down, I know it is not my fault. But this is my truth, this is my story, and for the first time, I am ready to tell it without hiding behind a smile. For many years, I believed that life was a straight path. You grow up, you fall in love, you build a home, you have children, and you grow old surrounded by family. That is what I saw in every person around me. My cousins, my friends, my neighbors. They all seemed to follow this natural order with no effort, and I truly believed my turn would come when the time was right. I never imagined that motherhood would be something I would have to fight for, cry for, pray for, or wait for. When I was younger, I was full of hope. I used to tell myself, I have time. There is no rush. I believed my body would always be ready for me. I believed the universe had my name written somewhere next to a child who would one day call me mama. I used to smile at babies in the street. I used to imagine how my daughter's hair would look or how my son would laugh. Those small dreams kept me warm. But dreams can become fragile when time begins to move faster than you expected. My first relationship was serious. We were both young, full of plans, full of life. At 25, I imagined us starting a family. We tried, not officially, not with pressure, but with the kind of innocence that makes you think pregnancy happens easily. Month after month, nothing happened. He didn't worry at first, but I did. I kept counting days, checking calendars, imagining symptoms that never turned real. After 2 years, the relationship ended for other reasons, but deep inside, I carried a secret fear. What if something was wrong with me? I tried to bury that fear. I told myself everything was fine. I convinced myself that maybe the timing wasn't right. Maybe the relationship wasn't meant to be. Maybe motherhood would come with the right person. And then at 29, I met someone new. He was patient, gentle, and kind. With him, I felt safe enough to dream again. We talked about children lightly at first, then more seriously. He used to tell me, our kids will be beautiful. I believed him. We tried, and for the first time, I allowed myself to hope without fear. But month after month, nothing. Sometimes my period came early, sometimes late, but it always came. It became my monthly reminder of something missing. A quiet disappointment only I could feel. I didn't want him to think I was broken, so I pretended to be okay. I convinced myself to trust the process. I pretended I wasn't afraid. But fear grows when you keep it in silence. One day, he sat next to me and said gently, "Maybe we should check." I smiled and said, "Yes, maybe." Inside, I was shaking, but I agreed. I wanted answers too. I wanted hope. I wanted something to fight for. We went to the clinic together. The nurse asked questions I wasn't ready for. The doctor explained things I didn't understand. Blood tests, hormones, ultrasound, more questions, more waiting, and finally, the results came back. The doctor looked at me with professional calm and said, "Everything seems normal, but your ovarian reserve is low. You may still conceive, but it could take longer." Longer. That word stayed with me. What does longer mean? Months? Years? Forever? I nodded politely, pretending to understand, but inside, something cracked. I felt like time had betrayed me. I felt like I had failed myself. I felt like I had failed him. But he held my hand and said, "We will keep trying. I love you. I'm not going anywhere." I believed him. I wanted to believe him. We kept trying. We kept hoping. We kept waiting. But life doesn't always reward waiting. Slowly, quietly, the pressure grew. He never blamed me. Not directly, but I felt the weight in the silence. I saw it in his tired eyes. I noticed how he avoided baby conversations, how he changed the subject when someone announced a pregnancy. I felt everything he didn't say. One evening, after 3 years together, he told me he wanted children soon. I said, I want that too. He hesitated, then said words that stabbed me deeper than any medical diagnosis. I'm not sure I can wait any longer. He didn't yell. He didn't accuse. He just spoke his truth, and I couldn't beg him to stay. He left a few months later. He still cared for me, but he wanted something life wasn't giving us. When he walked away, I told him, I understand. But when the door closed, I cried like a child. Not because he left, but because I felt like the world was confirming something I feared, that I wasn't enough. At 33, I became single again, and my fear grew bigger, heavier, sharper. Every birthday candle felt like a countdown. Every family gathering felt like a spotlight. People started asking their favorite question. Quand tu fais les enfants? When are you having kids? I learned to smile politely. Toi aussi, tu attends quoi? I learned to change the subject. Tu sais, l'âge avance. I learned to pretend it didn't hurt. But it did. It hurt every single time. I avoided baby showers. I avoided pregnancy announcements. I avoided conversations about motherhood. Not because I wasn't happy for others, but because I was grieving quietly for myself. At 34, I tried to convince myself that maybe motherhood comes in different forms. Maybe I could adopt one day. Maybe I could be a mentor. Maybe I could be the aunt who spoils everyone's kids. But late at night, when the world was silent, I still placed my hand on my stomach and wondered what it would feel like to carry life inside me. Some nights, I prayed. Some nights, I cried. Some nights, I stayed awake imagining all the moments I might never experience. Hearing a heartbeat during an ultrasound, decorating a baby room, choosing a name, teaching my child how to walk, how to speak, how to dream. These thoughts didn't destroy me. They shaped me. They taught me patience, compassion, and strength I never knew I had. And then, something unexpected happened. At 35, I met someone new. Not romantically, just a friend. A simple conversation with someone who listened without judging. She told me, motherhood is not only about giving birth, it's about giving love. That sentence stayed with me. For the first time in years, I breathed differently. Softer, deeper, with a little more hope. Maybe my journey is not late. Maybe it is just different. Maybe the universe isn't denying me motherhood. Maybe it is preparing me for a path I haven't seen yet. I still hope to conceive. I still dream about holding my child one day. I still pray for that miracle. But I no longer hate myself. I no longer blame my body. I no longer feel broken. I am 35 years old. I have never conceived, but I am still a woman. I am still worthy. I am still enough. And my story is not over. My journey might take longer. It might take a different shape. It might lead me to a child that wasn't born from my body, but born from my heart. Or maybe, one day, life will surprise me. I don't know. None of us know. But today, I choose to live with hope instead of fear. I choose to believe that I am not less. I choose to speak my truth without shame. And if my story helps someone else feel less alone, then maybe, just maybe, this pain had a purpose. I am 35 years old and never conceived, but my hands are still open. My heart is still waiting, and my future is still full of possibilities.